Living History Day is an annual event in the state of Oregon where the students and staff of Milwaukie High School welcome veterans numbering in the thousands. The students host and attend this traditional day full of patriotic displays and real historic experiences taught by the veterans who lived to tell the unimaginable. The true heroes throughout history have been our veterans.
Joe is live at Milwaukie High School, which will pay tribute to hundreds of veterans at a special ceremony later today. KPTV's Joe V is live with more. Joe?
Hey, how you doing there, Pete? And yes, we are in the commons area here of Milwaukie High School, where you can see the colors of the day are red, white, and blue. They're getting ready for what they call Living History Day. There's going to be 600 veterans. We're talking World War II all the way through Iraq and Afghanistan here today for a day-long celebration at Milwaukie High School. Joining us right now, Principal Kelly Carlisle. Mr. Carlisle, how are you, sir?
I'm great. I'm excited for today.
So it's a whole day of events. Tell us a little bit about it. And I think what's really cool is that the students are kind of a part of this. They're not just sitting back and watching it. They're helping put this together too.
The students own this day. They work very hard to put this whole day together. And what I love about this day is that it brings so many different subject areas alive. Obviously, history is a big one, but we don't think about the fact that the arts can come alive in a day like today. And English classes are doing special things. Small learning communities are putting a lot of their work around the curriculum that can support the learning for today. And to hear the stories from people who lived it is just a really exciting thing.
Days before the traditional Living History Day event, the students restore and decorate the historic Milwaukie High School building for the honored guests. Students perform incredible amounts of painting, landscaping, and physical work to display their appreciation.
Even after decades, it still matters that they put their lives on the line. It's just a little thing that we could do to show our support.
It brings history alive. It makes students realize that history is not just printed words in the pages of a textbook, that here are actual people who participated in these events. As far as the community is concerned, it ties them into the school. We've learned that there's a ton of veterans out here in the community who would just really love to be part of the school community, an opportunity to speak to teenagers and share their experiences, so it draws them closer to Milwaukie High School.
So here we start. It's 8:15. The vets are here. The stories I could tell you about the guys that are standing behind me are sick, crazy, unbelievable. This is going to be an awesome day.
To me, it's enjoyable to come here because the students, the faculty, and everybody else just treat you so nice.
You guys look sharp. Good morning.
I got more into it and I realized that I could be a host, and I like doing things like that because they need to be recognized.
I see them interact. They go up, they shake their hands, they pin on corsages. They are happy to have the veterans here, and I think they really gain a respect for veterans, that they served our country. These are the people that allowed us to have the life we have.
Like any good teaching, I think it's a little bit about provocation. It provokes you to see things maybe differently than you did prior to the event.
I learned what the veterans experienced, like what wars the Americans were involved in, like the Korean War or the Vietnam War. We are not talking that much at school about these wars, more like the wars Germany was involved in, and so this was basically what I learned.
You can't really get the same effect out of it that you can from talking to the people that were actually there.
Holocaust survivor Al Wiener greets Tuskegee Airmen Alex Jefferson, Bill Holloman, and Air Force fighter pilot Miguel Encinias, who was a prisoner of war.
To meeting real people who participated in some of the events that you teach about. They have some really fascinating stories about their adventures, and it's just kind of neat to meet people who participated in some of the events that are pivotal in terms of the history of this century.
Living History Days affected me in a positive way because I got to take the time to talk and listen to veterans and hear their side, not just from books or stories of other people. I got to hear from the source.
I watched them come into a session with a veteran and the veteran starts pouring their life out and their heart out about what took place for them, and these kids are absolutely engaged, they are attentive, they are respectful, they listen, they come up and they shake these people's hand, they say thank you.
The students just do not understand what some of us went through, and this is an experience where they can learn and see and feel the experience.
What are some of the other events that you have lined up here today?
Well, obviously the Gold Star Assembly in the morning that honors our fallen veterans who were part of Milwaukie High School. That's a very special thing. This is the 50th year that we've had that assembly.
Living History Day has its roots in the half-century of tradition of Milwaukie High School, honoring the 50 students and one teacher who have died in the service to their country. One candle is lit for each of the 51 fallen. As the names are read, a candle is extinguished to honor their memory.
This is the museum. There's about 70 tables in here, and people just bring all their memorabilia from all different wars.
For the past 2 years, members of the Milwaukie High School Tech Cadre have put countless hours into creating this visual memorial honoring all the fallen veterans of Afghanistan and Iraq. People can observe, understand, and be humbled by their acts of bravery. Included in the display are individual pictures and descriptions of the brave men and women who gave their lives for their country.
The conflict is so far away, and there are people that we don't think maybe truly exist. And yet, looking at the faces of the fallen, you can see the men and the women and the boys and the girls that are there that have died. Certainly the Oregonian has the daily toll of how many have died to date, and it's a number. You know, but this is the people behind the number. It is. It's important to remember.
I think the show is really to say, hey, here's something for you to have some fun with. People don't show up for the show. People show up because folks like you and folks like Ken and folks they've never met say thanks for coming and thanks for what you did.
Bill Chisholm and Audrey Rumkus of The Chosen Few present Remembering America's Heroes Executive Director with a commemorative jacket adorned with patches representing dozens of veterans groups.
Ken Buckles makes Living History Day function, but we're the only two who are willing to get up on stage in front of thousands of people and make complete fools of ourselves by telling bad jokes, and basically we're filler between acts, and we describe our performance as barely adequate.
Hey, it's great to be here. That line kept us civilians, and we're not really sure where we are. Yeah, they say if you can pronounce it, you've been here too long.
But it's important, and so we feel that this is our small contribution to living history.
Interestingly, while the era is still not the era of these kids, there was a lot more of a connection between the kids and this music.
One of these days, these boots are gonna walk all over you. One of these days.
The Vietnam veterans were individually honored during the Assembly of Honor with medals for their bravery and service to this country.
It's a very touchy era of veterans because some of them don't believe that it was actually a war or that they were a valuable part of it, and we need to make them understand and respect them and that this was a war and that we do really appreciate their efforts.
They did put their lives on the line for this country and did what they were asked to do. And I think that certainly deserves a measure of respect, regardless of your opinion about the war.
I think it makes a difference to go to an individual person, here's your medal, here's your thank you, here's your hug, and to a group of people and say, hey, as a group we appreciate you. As individuals we appreciate you.
I want you to know we thank you. You've made a difference in our lives, and it's a big deal to us, and we really appreciate it.
This was a special Living History Day. I mean, just from the very start, you could tell that the kids were really focused. They really wanted to make a strong statement, especially to our Vietnam veterans.
I thought it was outstanding. You guys did a great job.
I kind of realized how much history there is and how important all of it is for generations after us to learn about it, and just that it's not forgotten.
This is a real opportunity to do something special for Milwaukie High School that nobody else does. It really puts us on the map as someplace special and important for the community, for veterans, for the state of Oregon, and for this country. So I think that the people, the students, the teachers, Ken Buckles, all of them really work together to make this day a success.